All right, so I'm here to tell you about a project I've been working on a little bit. It's called Zinc. It's a way of trying to implement OpenGL on top of Vulkan. So first is the question why someone would do this. The reason why I'm looking into this is that OpenGL is pretty much a hard requirement, but as is Vulkan becoming. There's a lot of code that needs to be written to have all of the different layers of the graphics stack supporting both implementations. And since Vulkan is like the more high-end going forward solution, maybe it makes sense to implement on top of that. Yeah, to reduce the complexity. There's some existing solutions. The short takeaway here is that none of them really does what I'm going out to do. None of them supports kind of full-blown OpenGL. None of them are implemented as part of Mesa. There are some other implementations that I don't really have all the details about because they're proprietary and secret, and yeah. So yeah, what I'm proposing is a Gallium driver in Mesa that translates Gallium API calls to Vulkan. I've written a very rough proof of concept so far. It can render GLX gears, some of GL Mark II, and maybe some other stuff. I don't know. It was written in a couple of weeks as a side project while doing other stuff, and this is in no way a proven idea or proven concept. Much more work is needed to see kind of if this flies or not. Yeah, some of the problems that I've crashed into are shader translation. That's fairly straightforward. We have good shader IR stuff in Mesa. I'm so far using GLSlang's internal SPURVy IR, just kind of as a get something on the screen approach. That's going to be replaced. There's a really crappy Windows system integration where I just report it as a software renderer and it copies everything to the front buffer on swap. That's going to be fixed. Yeah, and then I need to work on pipeline caching so I don't create all of the pipelines every single time. That's reasonably slow. Yeah, and transform feedback is a difficult thing. We'll see. There might be an extension for Vulkan for this coming up. Otherwise, it might be possible to implement this using some SSBOs. Yeah, and image layout management in the prototype is currently pretty awful. Yeah, so I have a demo. So the most obvious thing is, oh, this came on the wrong screen. Yes, it's GLX gears. Pretty basic, but it shows that some rendering works. And then there's this old friend. Yeah, so it will crash after a few of the benchmarks because of some unimplemented stuff, but yeah, it runs. Yeah, texturing done, and some. Yeah, it can do most shaders that don't do much weird things like conditionals that aren't flattened to arithmetics or yeah. So I guess that's enough for now, unless you want to see a cat. There's a cat coming up. Yeah. All right. So yeah, yeah. The code is available on GitLab free desktop in my fork of Mesa. Yeah. there's a lot of stuff left to be done. I think the biggest things are the pipeline caching, currently holding it back from being having any decent performance, and then the compiler is very incomplete. So yeah, but it looks promising. It's I kind of expected this to fail a lot earlier, and it hasn't yet, and I don't see any big blockers. Yeah, so there's like, if someone wants to help out, this is there's a lot of fun work to be done. People who are interested in compilers, especially, that would be great. The type system currently is pretty lacking. Yeah, there's some more. Yeah, lots of different little things there. The execution model is currently kind of as stupid as possible. Very like lazily doing any barriers or anything like that. I'm sure there can be a lot better stuff done by kind of reordering draws to different render targets and things like that to kind of try to benefit some from Vulkan's render pass system. So yeah, patches welcome. Thank you.